Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sick and Tired, and today we are going to be reading a submission from one of our viewers. Hi, Samantha. I hope you're in a good headspace and have a delicious coffee to hand. You guys know me so well. I'm about to ruin your day. Oh. No, but seriously, thank you for giving your viewers the opportunity to share our pain. Communities like this are invaluable. Well, you are welcome, and we are happy to have you here. Here's my story. I'm sorry, it's a long one, and it's not great, but I promise to end it with good news. Growing up, I was sexually, emotionally, and physically abused by my dad. Dad is in quotes. It could either mean like dad, like it was their stepdad, so it's not really her dad, or dad, like I kind of refer to my dad as like my sperm donor. The sexual abuse obviously messed me up, and yet I found it less traumatic than the emotional abuse. I won't go into details of the sexual abuse for a variety of reasons, one being Mother YouTube clapping your channel's cheeks for coming close to saying any no-no words. I feel like I found kind of a workaround for that. I know that you guys, any of you watching from my old videos will be like, yeah, and you said you were never going to do that. I never planned on doing that, but unfortunately, the way that it works, if I do say things that YouTube doesn't like, not only will they not monetize my videos, but they will also make it to where your videos don't reach as many people. And that's what really upset me. These stories I want to reach as many people as possible so that people don't feel alone and so that we can have a community. So she's right about this. Anyway, here are some highlights of my childhood I can share courtesy of this man. He would make my brother and me clean his feet by sitting on the floor and rubbing his socks between his toes. What? The socks he'd been wearing all day. His feet smelled bad and were incredibly dry/flaky. How this cleaned them, your guess is as good as mine. What a weirdo. We couldn't say anything that opposed what he'd said or done. If we did, all hell would break loose. He would smash the house up at us, my mom, brother, and or me, and he'd shout at us in front of other people. Doors were ripped off their hinges. Holes were punched in the wall. Food was often thrown across the room. Yeah, been there. I was terrified of that man. I once made the mistake of saying how I felt about him when I was somewhere between the ages of 11 and 13. I don't remember what he'd said or done that upset me, but as kids do, I said, I hate you. That is like the nicest thing you could have said to him, too. His response was to punch me in the nose. He sent me to my bedroom after this and proceeded to scream at my mom. I sat there for over an hour with a nosebleed. Thankfully, he didn't break it, and my mom couldn't check on me until he'd stormed out of the house. Okay, so the judgmental part of me right now wants to be like,
why is your mom keeping you in this situation? Why is she staying? Why is she not leaving?
But I feel like that does come from a place of privilege because, like, right now, if I wanted to just leave my husband for whatever reason and take my daughter, I could because I have somewhere to go. I have the finances to do so, sort of, but I have options. Now, what do you do? And this is an honest question for people that might really have this question that are in these situations where you have an abusive partner and you have children. What do you do if you are a woman that is trying to get away and you don't have any family to go to? You don't have any money to run. What do you do? And I don't know either. I've never checked into it. Obviously, my mom never did either. Are there resources available? If you know, let us know down below. I couldn't watch my children. I couldn't watch this happening to them. I don't know what I would do. You guys remember that movie where that girl set the house on fire when her husband was sleeping? We had a family computer that was actually his. At first, it was kept downstairs, but because his stuff was everywhere, that man ruined my mom's house because he treated it like a scrapyard, and she was so house proud. It eventually had to be moved somewhere else. That somewhere else was my bedroom. Yeah, he didn't care that I had school the next morning. He would use that thing whenever he wanted. This was also obviously a way to give a plausible reason as to why he was in a young girl's bedroom at all hours of the day/night. What a fucking asshole. Let's just take away the ending there because I don't even want to think about that. But just think as a parent, what an asshole you'd have to be using a computer while your child's trying to sleep when they have school the next day. This computer would also crash and or break occasionally. I always got the blame for it. I don't remember if I did anything wrong, as this was nearly 20 years ago. Realizing how much time has gone by felt like another punch to the nose. But instead of using that as an opportunity to educate a literal child on safe computer use, he would, yes, you guessed it, scream and smash things. I'm short, I'm also poorly coordinated, and for some reason, I can never find the thing I'm looking for, even if it's right in front of me. This man would often send me into another room to get whatever it was he wanted. I would never be able to find it or reach it. I would then have to tell him this, and he would scream at me, then mock me. If I couldn't do something, I would cry because I was and still am highly sensitive and say I can't do it. This became a running joke. It would be repeated back to me incessantly in a mocking voice until it made me cry. He loved making me cry. He would mock me for being incapable of doing something, or for how I looked, or for whatever he wanted to. My God, please tell me that you got away from this man, because I am. All of that is nothing compared to the trauma of seeing him beat my mom and brother. There were times my mom should have died from the beatings, but she didn't. That has stuck with me far more than any of the shit he did to me. But here's the good news I promised. Actually, I'll give several pieces. My mom, brother, and I escaped his torture when I turned 14 or 15. I found out around then that he wasn't my biological dad. Yay. Oh, okay, so he actually isn't your dad. Oh, I thought you just meant dad, like sarcastic, like my dad, because what kind of dad would treat a daughter like that? But he's literally not your dad. Wow, what a plot twist. He progressively became more and more alone after we left because people chose to distance themselves from such an awful person. He eventually got diabetic necrosis / gangrene in his feet because he didn't take his health seriously, and because he didn't have my mom, whom he expected to be his nurse when they were together, to look after him. Eventually, he had to have a toe amputated, then more toes, then a below-the-knee amputation. Oh my. My mom bumped into him in the hospital many years later, and he was staying there because he needed to have a second below the knee leg amputation. I don't know if it was scheduled for that day. I never asked. I don't know anything about diabetes, so I don't want to be judgmental, but I mean, with this guy, I think it's okay. But is that something that is preventable, or is that something that, like, you know, if you have diabetes, no matter how well you take care of yourself, that this can happen regardless? I will never complain about having a high symptom day ever again. That's a lie. He died in 2021, alone with very few people who cared enough to shed any tears for him. I don't believe in karma, but that almost makes me question my lack of belief in it. Almost. You believe in karma? I kind of believe in karma. I've been speaking to a therapist since 2020 and am currently in the best headspace I've ever been and progressively getting better, although I still have a lot of work to do. My therapist is wonderful. I'm in a long-term relationship with an amazing person who heard my trauma, seen my breakdowns and tears, and has stuck by me through it all. That makes me so happy to hear. My mom has been in a happy relationship with a lovely man for many years now. Oh, my brother is a pain in the ass, but he's doing well. He's also in a relationship with an amazing woman, and he's working a job that is an absolute breeze. He's so lucky. They both need therapy still, but private therapy is expensive and neither are in a position to get it. Therapy is available through charities here, but they offer around 7 sessions or so, and from my own experience, it's almost impossible to explore the level of trauma he put us through in so few sessions. Yes. Not to downplay the charities, though. They are incredible at offering what they can. And finally, I'll be going into university as an adult learner at the end of this year, if all goes to plan, so that I can become a trauma-informed therapist myself. This is making me so happy. Well, thank you so much for reading this essay on my life. You're welcome to put it in a video, of course. I really do want to thank you for giving me a safe space to share this. Please do look after yourself after reading these kinds of things. Thank you so much for sharing. I am so proud of you. Really overcoming, these things. It takes a lot of work. I'm happy you're doing well in therapy. You have a good relationship. Your mom and brother are doing well. You're going to school. All that makes me really happy. I love happy endings. Well, that is the end of our video. Thank you again so much for sharing. Thank you all of you who send in your submissions to be shared. You're all very, very brave. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I love you guys. Bye.